Hey, it's James Farley.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah, have you? I've been meaning to ask actually. Have you had the chance to play Mega Coin Squad?
I have. I've got ideas about it as well.
What do you mean ideas?
Well, no, I've just been playing it and my brain had ideas. You know,
Do you mean
that's it.
thoughts? What do you
Yeah, I guess thoughts is probably a better way of describing it.
I've got ideas about this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant, isn't it? So yeah, it's Big Pixel Studios finally making it to a console, which is brilliant because I love that studio. They create such solid, fun games to play, and I was well pleased when they sent me a few codes. And yeah, what do you make of it then? What are your ideas?
Well, my main idea is. No, I do love it. I think it's great. It's how far are you in? Because I've just got to the ice bit.
Oh, I finished it, but then
you finished it. Yeah,
you got to remember that I played this a hell of a lot on the Mac, and it was even more insane on the Mac because if you got hit 3 times, if you get hit 3 times in this version, you repeat the level. But on the Mac version, if you get hit 3 times, you go to the start of the world.
Yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, but it was. Like, part of me prefers that.
And was it good? Was it good because it was really hard?
Because it was really hard. No, part of me preferred that because I felt more, like when I died, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! And then it, like, I don't know, I kind of preferred it, but I totally understand why they changed it because the speed runs were lasting like well over an hour. Do you know what I mean? It was crazy.
I think that probably would have done my head in actually doing it that way around. This way feels not so bad. I mean, the thing is, in the beginning it seems like it's pretty simple, but then you get that whole, it's like the risk reward thing that they've got going on, and that's when it gets the hooks in. Yeah, like whether you're going to bank it or whether you're going to take the risk or not to go for more. Yeah. And that's such a great idea, and it works really well. And also, like, the controls I really like as well. It feels, because I really like platform games, and they feel like they nailed it.
Haven't they? The whole grabbing onto the side as you jump and the boosts and stuff like that. And what I really like is the power-ups, like the look, I'm suddenly conscious that people listen to this thing. So Mega Coin Squad is sort of a platformer, isn't it? But all in an arena as opposed to an A to B level. Yeah. And you've got a piggy bank in the middle. You've got to collect a set amount of coins without being hit and bank those coins. But like, I love the upgrade system. So you get 3 gems per level, or you can get 3 gems per level. 1 for doing it in a specific time frame. 1 for banking all your coins at once. And what's the third one? For not being hit. So
you get the not being hit one, yeah.
The better you do, the more gems you get, and then you spend those gems in like one of those spinning block things at the end of each level that gets faster and faster every time you upgrade. And some of the upgrades are brilliant, like some of the weaponry upgrades, and what is it? Like, I always go for double jump first because that's really handy and stuff like that. Limits how many coins you lose when you get hit and stuff. It just feels so fucking well thought out.
Yeah, and you see, it's one of those things where when I first put it on, to be honest, in the beginning, I thought, oh, this is going to be like a throwaway kind of game. It's not going to spend much time on this. But then you begin to realise that actually you really need to concentrate and actually try really hard. Because in the beginning, I began to feel that the difficulty curve was a bit too steep.
Yeah, it ramps up quickly.
Because it's quick, it's really quick, but then it's just like, you're thinking, this is because I wasn't really playing it seriously. I wasn't like giving it the respect it deserves. You know what I mean? It's like, as a game. Yeah. And then when it's started to get better again now. But I mean, there's only one thing I don't like about it, which is it's a really simple thing, which is, the invincibility.
Yeah.
You see, I think it should be more obvious that you're invincible.
I know what you're saying, because all of a sudden, like, because there's these tiny little stars around you, and all of a sudden it's gone. But
and you don't know if it's like that. I just wondered whether it was my old destroyed eyes, or whether it's like, it was, so...
the signs are there. When you've got stars around you, you're invincible. When you haven't,
but you can't really see them that well. That's the problem.
You've got to concentrate. You've got to concentrate. It's focus, James. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it's like that. It's just it's fantastic. And what's funny is that we're talking about the single player, but it's primarily a multiplayer game. Like, it's a little bit like Towerfall, but with objectives. and stuff like that. There's like one where you carry a huge coin and you've got to hold the coin for as long as possible or something. Where you got to bank the coin, I can't remember. There's another one where you get, that rainbow coin where you get more and more coins as you jump about. Mm-hmm. It's, you got to hold on to that for as long as possible. There's deathmatch and stuff. It's just, and there's so many wicked, you start off thinking, well, the fireball that you get as your main weapon, that's shit. But then when you upgrade it, it gets better and better and you can really use it to good effect. Then you think, the weapons, I never really, like on the Mac version, I barely use the weapons. For some reason, on this one, I use them all the time. Like, I find them really helpful, especially for the end of level, sort of multi-enemy, thing, like clear the stage stuff. God, they just make fucking amazing games. There's a few bugs, I say a few bugs. It's the only one bug that I've seen where if you leave it suspended for a while, it the frame rate just plummets. But we'll
be talking about frame rate later.
Yeah. But I've already spoken to the guys that worked on it, and they said they're fully aware of it and they're getting it sorted. And I just know that fucking studio, they're not happy until it's like, the games that you play, they never feel half finished. They always feel complete. And when Mega Coin Squad came to the Mac, it felt solid as fuck. So I just know that they're going to iron out those creases, and when it comes out for Xbox One, I hope it does well. Mm-hmm. I really hope it gets the attention it deserves, because it's fucking fantastic, man. I just wish I had more friends to play locally,
Yeah, that we all. It's
yeah, none of us have got friends. We're all losers. Yeah, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, because you always worry, obviously I'm a fan of Big Pixel, and I always worry that it's my fandom getting in the way of having a sort of subjective view of it.
No, it's definitely.
But then everyone I
sent
it to has said this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. It's not just me being off my nut. It's actually a genuinely brilliant game. Because you played some of their other stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I played. Pyro Blocks and the whole
coin.
Is it Bottle Cap Blitz?
Bottle Cap Blitz was brilliant. That was well good. And Pyro Blocks and Land of Panda. Did you ever play Land of Panda?
Yeah, I played that.
That was another genius game.
Is that the one with the panda tits?
That was the one with the panda tits. Yeah. Well, the genius of it was that it's like, here's a level. And you've got to get your timing right to get the panda from one side to the other, or you can collect the coins. And then there was like a meta game where it was all based on how quickly you could do each level. And that was what the leaderboards were all about. And you start going, well, how can I do this quickly? I'm reliant on time and stuff. But then you realise that you can sort of flick the panda across the stage if you press the button as the barrel was quickly rotating. And if you get it spot on, you can cut out half of the level and stuff. And you just think, that's just brilliant game design. That is just fucking excellent game design. They thought about how people were going to play their game, and they've catered to it. And that's incredible.
Okay, seeing as you know them, could you find out about the panda tits though?
I already have. Yeah,
have you? Okay,
it's hands, isn't it? It was. Oh no, that was it. No. They have got panda tits, but apparently they had to tell their artists to tone down the breasts.
Well, it's not like they were like full on Dead or Alive ones. They were
but they were definitely obvious. There, weren't they?
Yeah.
We are messed up in the head. In the current world of video game journalism, we shouldn't have any voice whatsoever, I don't think.
Don't, it's alright.
Probably be banished. We read Eurogamer. I can't stand people like us. Not allowed to talk about tits. Right. So let's just get straight to it, shall we? I'm really excited to hear what you think of Blighttown.
Alright, I've got a list.
Okay, let's start by where you up to. Have you made the first bonfire?
Yes, I've made the first bonfire.
Have you made the second bonfire?
Well, no.
Right.
I know where it is. Like, I'm pretty certain I know where it is.
Where is it?
It's right at the bottom. I think it's right at the bottom. I'm hoping it's right at the bottom.
Right, gotcha.
And because I was just on one of the runs I was going on, I got round and I think I saw it, like down a tunnel kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you know exactly where it is.
Yeah,
I think know exactly where it is.
Then I died. And, But anyway, I got a list. These are my problems with Blighttown so far.
Right, the problems. Let's go.
Okay, we've got number 1, frame rate.
Yeah, it's bad. It is shockingly bad.
Number 2, poison.
Well, that's part of the game, yeah.
Okay, number 3, ladders.
Well, what about ladders?
Okay, we'll come to that. Number 4, jumps.
What are you just saying?
I'm just going to list them.
Jumps.
Number four is jumps.
Okay.
Number 5 is frame rate.
Okay, that was what number 1.
I know, but it's so bad I had to mention it twice.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's the fire. You know, the flames. That's what slows everything down in Blighttown.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a big problem with it on the PS4, and they changed it, and it all went. The PS3, and they changed it. It all went fucked up. But yeah, it's shockingly bad.
My question is, did anybody play it before it came out?
I think it was just the fact that it wasn't a huge. I mean, it's not the biggest budget game of all time.
It's not like a small indie game, though, is it?
No, but it's you got to remember that the game that came out before this was Demon's Souls, and that wasn't a massive seller for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they were expecting it to sell as well as it eventually did. But so it was kind of it's a trade-off. Do you want this? I'm not defending it because it's.
You are defending it.
No, I'm not.
Bullshit,
I'm not defending it because it is fucking terrible. It is. I'm not going to defend the fact that the frame rate is absolute dog shit. But I don't understand it. But it's one of those things where the game is so huge, and you think so much work has gone into this game that these little, niggles are gonna come through.
It's more than a little niggle, though, isn't it? Because it's really terrible.
Yeah, it's really terrible. It's not unplayable, though.
Why don't but the thing is it's been the cause of my death once or twice.
Yeah, that's not good. I never had that. That is not good.
And that gets kind of annoying. And also, I mean, like you said, if it is the flames, why don't they just switch them off?
Because it'd be all dark, James.
So it's it's Dark Souls. There you go.
Well, you'll get to a level like that later, and you'll regret even considering doing what you're saying. No, I can't defend it. It's fucking terrible. But it didn't bother me as much as it should. And once you get through this bit, the frame rate sort of calms down a lot. So this is the worst it gets for frame rate. But just got to deal with it, really.
Yeah, the frame rate's kind of annoying. Okay, if we move on to point 2, which is poison. Now, to be honest with you, I haven't. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm just swallowing. It's
what? Yeah. Go on.
Swallowing. It's
okay.
Do you ever get that thing? When you have a really bad sore throat, and then you're really aware of the fact that you're swallowing, and then and then that's when you suddenly realise that during the day you actually swallow a lot, but just don't realise it.
It's like when we were growing up, me and my brother used to every now and then, completely at random, it could be months apart, would just go blink, breathe, right? And then for the rest of the day, all I'd be thinking of is concentrating on my blinking and my breathing. Oh my god, I blink. You know how it's you subconsciously do it.
Yeah.
Or if you just turn around to each other and went blink, breathe, you'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, now I'm thinking about blinking and breathing.
See, I am doing that now, which is kind of annoying.
I know. I know. It's really annoying, James. And that was the first 20 years of my life before I moved out. So, good times.
So anyway, the poison, back to that. It's not, okay, up to where I am now, it hasn't bothered me that much because I did what you said and I sort out those annoying things with the pipes. Yeah, no, the ones with the pipes that are shooting at you.
Oh, yeah, you took them out.
They are quite obvious. It's quite easy to find them. They're not really well hidden or anything. So most of them I managed to take out without any problem. The problem is when I get down to the bottom. And now, usually when I've got down to there already, my character's already pretty knackered, and it's got to there because it's gone through the spiders and those stupid zombie things that come in pairs that jump on
those
you.
Those little pal motherfuckers.
It's the jumping on you thing that really annoys me because it looks so horrible.
Do they jump on you and eat?
Yeah, They jump on and eat your face. It's horrible. It's happened to me so many times, and it's really annoying. I mean, the best time that happened was when one jumped onto me, but I was going backwards at the same time. He landed on me, but then we both sort of died together as we fell off the ledge, and he was eating me as we went down. I was like, yeah.
Just falling down and he's still gnawing away at your head.
I'm dead, but you're dead as well. It's kind of okay. Did you see that vine I put up, by the way?
Yeah, that was brilliant, where you got stuck in the thing.
It was just, that was just, a lot of things like that have happened in this level. Yeah. But yeah, it's the poison down at the bottom because I get down there and I'm already not in a very good state.
Yeah.
And then I poisoned, obviously, when I get down there because it seems that is it water or whatever?
Well, if I remember correctly, and we're going to do. There's a few people been saying, we're not talking about the lore of the game or anything like that. But we will do eventually. We can do a whole episode on it when I think it's right to do it. But I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, the poison is the shit from the gaping dragon. Because when you think about it, you're going underneath the depths, and if you look over the edge, you can see Blighttown from where the gaping dragon was, and it's all the shit that it's been eating and shitting out, and it drips down into Blighttown, and at the bottom is like basically a sewer.
It's not very nice, is it?
No, but this is it, James. All that sort of shit. Everything you think about, this is why I love this game, and this is why I'm starting to love Bloodborne like properly now. Every little thing you think of, every little detail is there for a reason. Like, why is there a poison at the bottom? There's a reason for it.
But is that definitely the reason, or is that just stuff that fanboys have made up?
If I've forgotten the reason why it is, there's definitely a reason for it, 100%, so that it all fits in the world. There's all this stuff comes together, and there's things that fanboys, as you say, put together, but it's all there to be put together. Like, there's things like items found behind one character, and you think nothing of it until someone points out, well, if you read that item description, it describes such and such, and that explains why that was it. Let me give you an example. I spoke to you about this little girl in Bloodborne, where she tells you to go and find her mum and dad, or whatever. And if you're playing it through, and I didn't even notice that, I didn't find the girl, I wouldn't have even picked up on it, but she said, get my mum and dad, my mum owned this thing. Anyway, you go and you kill this bloke, and then you find a dead body, and it's got an item, and if you return it, the girl starts crying because she knows that her mum's dead. But then what you can do is not give it to her and send her to a safe place, but then you find a dead body randomly that wasn't there before, and if you put two and two together with the item that she's holding, you find out that she'd left the house to go to the safe place and got killed by something. It's just everything in these worlds link up in a way that you can't wrap your head around until you sit down and think, okay, what was that all about? Hold on, why is this enemy attacking me by jumping on me? I don't know if there is a reason for that, but there probably fucking is, because that's the whole thing about Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that sort of shit. There's so much lore behind everything that once you start cracking, you'll want to know everything. And every time you have a question, you'll be like, why has that happened? There must be a reason. And then, you eventually find out what it is, mainly through talking to people or watching YouTube videos. But yeah, sorry, that was a long rant about the fucking poison swamp at the bottom of Blighttown, but you've got the antidote. Why are you not healing yourself? Yeah,
but the thing is by the time I get to the bottom, I'm already pretty wasted anyway. So
yeah, but you're near a bonfire, so heal yourself up and then find that bonfire, and then you regen your everything. You get rid of the poison and you refill your Estus flask, and you're ready to go to the next boss. Okay,
are there any like shops or anything around? Anywhere here,
like
anyone
Tesco's
selling stuff,
or what? What do you want?
Anything that's like selling anything.
No, I don't think there's a merchant down there. No, okay. Why? What do you need?
Well, I'd like some arrows, to be honest. I'd like some bolts from a crossbow, because they're quite usul for killing those. The flying.
Yeah,
mosquito
they are
things.
good for the flies. Yeah, those little mosquito things suck.
Yeah, they're kind of annoying.
Yeah, but they're fucking annoying. But yeah, I can't remember how I did them. I think it was with arrows as well. So, but no, there's nowhere to buy arrows down there. I don't think, anyway.
Okay, it's annoying. But okay. Mm-hmm. So that's the poison. Like I said, it's not that annoying, but it's not as bad as I've been led to believe, because
it's part of the game, isn't it? It's one of the mechanics of the game. It's like being cursed,
So anyway, my next complaint...
we haven't spoken about that. So you went and got yourself...
Yeah, I did all that. That was easy. That was it was just going back.
It's easier than I think. Like the thought of going back and getting yourself uncursed is a much bigger thing than actually going to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if it happened to me again now, I'd probably be quite angry, because I'd just be thinking it's quite a long way back now.
Well, yeah, you'd have to go all the way up, but I don't think there's anything down there that can curse you, so you're all right.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing on my list is ladders. because they're annoying. As in, everywhere in this game, everywhere in this level, it's just like ladders to everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And it's not. You see, the level isn't confusing at all, like the design. It's just I find it a bit irritating spending so much time going up and down ladders.
Well, going down ladders is easy, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. You just press B. I know that's not a problem. But what's annoying is when there's those other things. You know, the can't just call them monsters. You know,
the most generic name ever. You went for armadillo ones. With one of them, pottery for knights for another one, and you're just going monsters with this. I always thought they were like inflatable condoms. That's what they reminded me of for some reason.
What, those pink things?
Yeah, like someone had blown up a condom and just sort of flicked it towards you, and it's like floating. Really? Yeah, I don't know.
What kind of condoms do you use?
Yeah,
my head's like that.
Yeah, okay. I'm messed up, child. If I went to a psychiatrist, they'd probably turn me away. Oh my God.
That's really strange. There's also those fire-breathing dogs as well.
Yeah, they're hard.
They're not hard. They're just annoying, and they're another one that every time I knock them off, I'm chuckling to myself because I'm just thinking, a bit of that, dogs. I hate the dogs in this game.
Have you seen that massive, great big slug thing that comes out of the wall?
No. Where's that?
There's just this huge, fucking horrible thing that's hanging outside a wall. If you see that, come across that, ignore it. You don't need to.
I did kill this massive thing that was like over like a pipe. And
I'm pretty sure that was it then.
I went round behind it and I stabbed it a whole ton of times. And then it died, and it was all this sort of like fanfare music. And then that was it, and I was like, okay, well, what's happened? Do I win?
No, I think that's probably what I'm talking about. So,
okay.
Yeah, oh well.
But yeah, so that was annoying. But anyway, yeah, just the ladders. It's just having to climb up and down things all the time. It's just a bit irritating.
What's the matter with you?
And it's that combined with the jumps as well, because the jumps are also irritating. Although I have now figured out how to do jumping with a degree of maybe about 70% of the time I can do it.
Double B thing.
Yeah, it is annoying though, isn't it? I find it's easier to like run and then do it than it is to like in any other way.
Dark Souls is at its worst when it tries to be a platformer. And I don't think it even tries. It's just, it's kind of like you have to go down here as opposed to, hey, look at this challenging jump. But because the platforming element of it is so bad that, I mean, that's where it's very worse, I think. It's like, because there'll be times where you kind of drop, but then he stumbles forward and then drops again and you lose loads of health and you're like, oh fuck, don't even attempt this. Just stick a ladder there. Let's keep to the rules.
Well, there's also that bit right at the beginning where you like, it's the obvious, you see like a pickup that you can get like just ahead, and it's like you walk on there and it all collapses.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, good one. It's it's sort of annoying.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, I mean, the thing is with it is I'm not really hating Blighttown that much. No. It's just there's elements of it which irritate me, primarily the frame rate issue.
Yeah, but, that stuff's shit. But I found Blighttown to be a really good sort of explanation of Dark Souls gameplay. Of a really big. This is like a scary place to be. You walk in, you're like, why am I poisoned? Why can I not get around these guys? Why are these rushing at me? Blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, the more you play, the more you're going, okay, I'm getting poisoned because there's someone spitting a dart at me. If I take him down, he's gone for good. He doesn't respawn. And then you start learning that area. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, it's not that scary anymore. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the fact that you know where your next bonfire is that's the key there.
Okay, but after that bonfire, is the boss close to there?
Very close, yeah. So where that bonfire is, you come out towards the swamp. You got to cut across the swamp. So make sure you got some moss clumps with you or whatever they are, and go right, and you'll see a load of spiders' webs and stuff. Head through that tunnel, and then you'll make it to the boss.
Oh yeah, this is a question I had though. You hate spiders, so how were you with this level? Because there's quite a lot of like.
Those little things are fine because they don't look like spiders really, do they? Those little beastie things with the legs, they're not too bad. The boss was hard work, but not that bad because it's weird. I was thinking about it today. I'm a boss in Bloodborne called Rom the Vicious Spider. When you look at it, it's not a spider, but when you walk up to it, about 20 spiders drop from the sky, and it's like my worst nightmare. But it's not so bad because the way that the game is sort of designed is that each enemy is mechanical, right? So there's no, there is this element of random attacks or whatever, but the way they move is very sort of video gamey. You know what I mean? They're like, they move like tanks. They start their animation, they end their animation. You know what I mean? By design, they are very mechanical things. So although there are spiders in it, they move like tanks, so they don't really move like spiders. So the more I'm playing, the more I'm getting used to getting over the fear of just looking at them, because they make me feel sick.
Okay, but your real nightmare is one that not just looks like it, but also moves like a real one as well.
That would be gone. That would be game off. I think it's easier for Rom because the spiders around him are all like, they've all got these like hard shell heads and everything like that. And apparently later on in the game, there's some realistic looking spiders in it, and that is going to make me feel sick. Yeah. But right now I'm doing okay, I think. Jesus.
See, I don't get that so much from stuff. The only game I've ever had that from that is something that's really made me feel very uncomfortable was Gears of War 3, where they introduced this. Yeah, no, there's this really
fear
horrible
of orange gunge.
No. There's this thing that they introduced, which sort of, it's like a centipede.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Do you remember this? And it's like the way it moves across the floor and the sound it makes and everything, and it looks just like a sort of, like the shell and all that. It's horrible. It really made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I wasn't too bad with that, but yeah. I mean, the boss you're about to fight, there's no secret that it's a massive fucking spider, but you'll be fine. You can summon for that fight as well. So if you get stuck, the person you summon's not amazing, but they do help you, help take the focus off you for a little bit so you can heal up and stuff. So I'd say definitely give it a few goes on your own, and then if you're still struggling, summon. Because, it might be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying not to do that kind of stuff because I'm trying to sort of just save up whatever I've got in anticipation that I might need it later. But unless I really, really need to use it. I've used no humanity. I've used none. I've used it once when I did that boss, right at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, for bosses, it's always good to use a bit of humanity if you need it. But yeah, you don't have to. I mean, I spent the majority of my time as a hollow, so it's the only thing is you're missing out on some of the multiplayer stuff, the PvP and stuff like that. But you probably don't want to do that at this point, do you?
No, that'll probably just annoy me. So I can't imagine what PvP would be like in Blighttown with the frame rate. It'd be awful.
The frame rate levels off when you get to the bottom, doesn't it? It's not so bad. Yeah. It's mainly at the start, but from the first run to the first bonfire, that's where it's at its worst. And then it gets a little bit choppy before you hit the floor. But once you're down the bottom, it's not too bad. And then, as I say, once you've done with Quelaag, the next boss, you'll be fine. There are some much better looking areas and no frame rate dropping. So, it's just saying you got to get through a little bit. Oh no, there's a little bit of frame rate dropping in. Oh my god, I can't remember the areas at the end. The ghost area, but other than that, it's fine. You'll be fine. Fine, James.
I mean, okay.
So how are you feeling about? Every now and then, I like to ask you, how are you feeling about the game now?
Well, I told you I am really enjoying it. It's a good game. I mean, I still don't feel that it's the most amazing game ever. And
you won't at this point, I don't think.
I still think it looks gash as well. I don't care. I still don't think it looks good.
I guarantee, look, but trust me, I know you, there'll be a lot later on where you'll go, okay, yeah, it looks good. Do you know what I mean? There will be one bit where you'll go, okay, fair enough. That looks incredible. But, you're right. I mean, this is the whole first half of the game looks pretty shit. But it does have those moments. You've had moments already, right? Where you've hit a rooftop and you've seen that skyline and stuff.
Yeah, it looks
holy shit.
Nice.
And the cool thing that it does do is that there are so many vantage points. There's so many, vistas across the stage where you can see other bits of the world. You'll be standing there and you're going, holy shit, that's such and such. But you won't be appreciating that yet because you're still doing your first run through and you won't see all that stuff. But yeah,
I mean also it's good. The size of it is still scaring me a bit because it's like, well, because the thing is, like you said, this is still the first part of the game, and I've already sunk about 25 hours into this now. I think, and that's a bit scary because I'm just thinking, I've got a long way
I was
to
thinking
go
that.
still.
I was thinking that oh my god, you got so much to see still. It is pretty intimidating. But
it's like it's good. It is fun. It's just that I don't know. It just feels big. Sometimes that feels scary.
That's the funny thing. Like you can download the map on your Mac and like look through it all and study it. And when you look at it like that, you're like, actually, it's not that big. But because you learn every inch of that fucking world, it feels massive. And I think the other important thing is that there's no map, no mini map or anything like that. And there's a big argument for that more games should do that. Especially games like...
I'm totally happy for it to have no map like this, actually, because I kind of like it because I like that idea that it's like you have to remember like where stuff is.
You've got that, and the fact that you don't know what's round the corner, and you don't know where you are, and because you're lost, you explore more. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see something like Red Dead do that. I know they wouldn't, because it's a more mainstream game or whatever. But I imagine, like, riding around on your horse in Red Dead without a map. I think that would be such an impressive and interesting thing to do.
So, I mean, with that, you could always do like kind of like halfway house where like people could write their own stuff. If you see what I mean, it's like you have like a map and then you fit it out yourself. Yeah,
either that, or you, or you have maps in each town and you can see where you are. Like you are here, and then you've got to go. Okay, I've got to go east towards that town or whatever. So it gives you some idea of where to go, so you don't get completely fucking lost. But to have a mini map there all the time, I've kind of, when people were having this discussion, I was like, well, of course it's better to have a mini map because I want to know where I want to go. I don't want to get lost. But then after playing Dark Souls, you're like, okay, right, I see why it's not brilliant to just have a mini map there all the time.
It's partly because, I mean, the game world is really well designed in the sense of like, it's everywhere is very memorable. Like where you're going. That's what makes it easy to remember where to go because you're just like, oh, okay, I need to go to that place. Like, when I was cursed and I had to go back to, I don't even know what the names are. This is why I'm such a crap person to play this game. That's the one, yeah. Even though I couldn't remember, like exactly how to get back there, I was like, okay, first I go to this place, then from there I can go to here, and it's kind of like that, and you're just, working out like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's good. And that's why people feel so like they get such a personal connection to the game and the world. That's why they want to look into it so much, and that's why it becomes more of a, you're thinking outside the game when you turn the game off, because not everything's presented to you straight away. You're not just thinking, okay, that is the game off now, I will come back to that game later. You're thinking, fuck, where do I go next? What do I do next? What's around the corner? And that's where the obsession builds, I think. That's where you start going, like you're sitting at work thinking, okay, so if I go here and if I go there, then, when I get home tonight, I'm going to try this and I'm going to try going there and see what happens. And yeah, that's why people get so passionate around it, because you feel that you're experiencing it more, which is such a weird thing to say. But you'll slowly get there. All the shit that I'm saying and all the, well, it's good because of this and this. Like, it's good because you can't pause during the thing. And it's good because...
Yeah, that's not good. That's never good, but go on.
But then you can see the development side behind it. The whole...
Yeah, I can understand that.
You're in a battle. Clearly, you can't just take a break.
Yeah, but clearly the person who made that didn't have kids. Because it's like, it's a nightmare when you're trying to... I mean, okay, let me put this first. I'm not playing this game in front of my children. Well, not all the time. And
it'd be a fucking nightmare.
So sometimes, you get distracted though, they're like, they've got to go to bed or whatever, and I just want to pause it for a second, And it's particularly irritating. I don't understand. I don't understand the design decision with that. I just think it's stupid.
No, because that's what you're saying. What you're saying is the developer hasn't got kids or whatever, but then maybe the developer's thinking, this isn't a game to be playing in, like, when you've got shit going on. You're either sitting playing it or you're not. I mean, let's face it, you can save wherever you are. It's not like you've got if you turn it off, you go back to the bonfire. You save at any point, and it constantly saves for you. So it's not that harsh.
No.
It's just
I still reckon it's because they didn't want people using an action replay or one of those game pads.
Can you get an action replay for a 360?
No, of course not.
Well, shut the fuck up, you.
Hang on, let's have a look,
man.
I'm just having a look. It's Xbox 360 action. Should I do Game Shark or Action Replay?
Action Replay is the bigger brand, I think.
Game Shark or the Game Genie. Okay. They do. Sorry, I'm dying here. Hang on. They do the Daytel Action Replay power saves. It's I think it's one of those things where they have like save games which have got things finished, and then you can just like copy it onto your hard drive.
People do that. It's insane, isn't it?
Why would you pay money for that? I don't understand. But yeah,
to get through Dark Souls, apparently. Right, my missus is just about to come into the front room to watch the rest of Holby City, so I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
But, enjoy the next boss, and let me know when you've done them.
Oh well, yeah.
And remember to blink and breathe, James.
Thanks. That's helpful.
Swallow. Laters.
Bye bye.
Bye.